guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas. Today's surf tip is my secrets to foot placement to better your surfing. Now you guys ask me all the time, from pop-up to foot placement, do I have any secrets? What's the mystery? How do I get my foot just right? I think you're gonna love this episode. We're gonna get on a slide surf skate. We're gonna show some practical application. It's not about nailing the perfect foot placement. It's about moving your feet to maximize speed down the line, or moving your back foot back right up on that tail kick to make sure you get nice, precise turns. This is gonna be fun. Sit back, get your favorite drink, enjoy the show.
Let's look at some waves together. I'm gonna pause it right here. I wanna point out that my back foot is in front of the traction pad. Most of my weight is really well centered over the board. I wanna maximize speed. So this isn't pop to my feet, have my back foot right over the tail kick. That's not how it goes. If I want speed, I'm shifting everything forward, more centered over the middle of the board, and I want to race down the line as this wave's giving me some wave face. Now, I also want to point out, when do I start to move my foot? Watch as I'm on the toe side rail here and the board's starting to go to a neutral place. Watch my back foot right there. It moved back. Let's get in close. Now you're going to see my back foot is on the front of the traction pad. I'm still pretty well centered. As I come down to the bottom of the wave, this is a good place that the board's kind of in a neutral position. Right here, I'm going to move my foot back again, right there. Now I'm on a toe side bottom turn right here, and I'm going to move my foot back one more time right there. Now, as I go into this turn, let's see if we can see where my foot's at on the pad. It's hard, but you can see it's pretty far back there. I wouldn't say it's all the way back on the kick yet. And watch what happens in the cutback. Everything looks good, really nice right here. Watch the front foot. See this splash right here? You see a little bit of the water hitting right there? That's a bog. And that's because my back foot isn't all the way back on the tail kick back there. Now, it's still a good turn because my foot was pretty far back and I was adjusting it the entire time. Now, on this left, I bobbled the takeoff, but I've got some wave face to get my feet situated, and I got a section coming at me. I've got a maneuver I'm thinking about, and right here I want to point out the board's in a neutral place. It's going down. Watch me move my back foot back right there, and then I adjust it again just because I want it all the way back to hit this section, to do a reverse. So it's really about the maneuver and adjusting my feet just right. Now at Waco Surf, I want to move my back foot all the way against the tail kick. So right after this top turn, I move it right there and right there going into this roundhouse. It's all the way back. Nice, clean turn, good rebound. And then I'm going to pull that back foot up a little bit for this tube and closer to the toe side rail so I can hold my edge. I'm moving my back foot around a bunch on this wave.
Now the first place I personally want to start is practical application. And there's no substitute for water time. So if you're surfing every day, that's excellent. However, I still recommend you get on a surf skate and practice on the street to better your technique and enhance your performance in the water. Now, I personally choose the slide surf skates because they feel most like surfing to me. Now, I've got two different slide boards for comments that I hear from our community. The first one I want to talk about is the Gussie Psychedelic. It's 31 inches in length, roughly 10 inches wide. And this is the Slide Hot Buttered Bomber. Now this is 39 inches long and roughly 9 inches in width. Now the reason I have the two different sizes, because some of you guys say you don't like to ride a surf skate because it narrows your stance. And because they pivot a lot off the front truck, it can make me more of a front-footed surfer. And those are true. However, the slide surf skates really have good back truck engagement that feels a lot like surfing. And the reason I have the bomber one is because I can widen out my stance because it's so long. So I'm listening to our community and I'm trying to help you fix whatever problems you're having and use these surf skates as tools to help you surf better. So I want to start with getting on this board in relation to surfing faster down the line on a wave. If I'm surfing and let's say I'm going front side and I paddle in and I want to get to my feet real fast, whether the wave's small or bigger. Let's say I have some wave face and it's running away from me. The first thing I think is when I'm paddling, I get up on my board as far as possible. I smother the nose of the board while paddling. And just by smothering the nose, meaning I've scooted my whole body up on the board. I've got my chin down. I'm trying to get this board to paddle down the line as fast as possible. And the further I can move up the board, I'm talking maybe like a half inch or an inch. If I move up a little bit, that's going to help me stand up further on the board, up further towards the middle of the board, as opposed to laying back a little bit and the board's kind of planing like this in the water. When I stand up, I'm going to be a little bit further back on the board. So just moving a little bit on the board while paddling really helps me. If I want to get down the line faster, I'm going to smother the nose and paddle as hard as I can that way. And when I stand up, I don't want to stand up really with my foot on the traction pad. Or the back of the pad, I actually want to be on the front of the pad. And the further I can get up on the front of the pad, the faster I can get down the line. See, foot position while surfing, I'm not trying to stand up and hit the back end of my traction pad right up on the kick and hit my front foot perfectly every time. I'm trying to put my feet on the board according to what the wave's doing. And once I have the speed and I get to the position that I want to be on the wave, now I begin to move my feet around. What I love about this particular board, this will help me really shift my weight forward or shift my feet forward and use the length of the board and the rail line to push off of. So let me get on and show you what I'm talking about. Once I get a push and my feet see how my foot's not way back, but it's drawing out the turn a little bit. And I can use the rail, hold it, and then really start to generate the speed. And it's a longer stroke. It's not like this. You can generate speed, but that's not what I'm trying to do. So if I want to make my stance wider, I can push it back. For you guys that have a narrow stance, you can utilize the length of this board to help you widen that out. All right, so let's talk about racing down the line, and we're going to do a roundhouse cutback. So this is my little wave right here. Once I start getting going, I'm going to move my back foot forward. So I'm racing down the line, and now I'm going to come off the bottom, and I'm going to hit my roundhouse, move my foot back, come in, hit the turn, ride out, and continue. I want to talk about when I move my foot back. Okay, this is what it looks like. I went into the bottom turn. I might move my foot back a little bit, and then when I get up in here, I'm coasting. So the board's relatively flat. Now I move my foot back, crank the bottom turn, the cutback, excuse me, and then I come around. And if my foot's not all the way back on the tail kick, I'm not going to get a precise turn here. And when I get in here, I'm definitely not going to have enough of my foot all the way back so I can get it nice and vertical here. This is something I practice over and over and over again. The first thing I want to talk about is traction placement. Here's my leash plug, and for me, I always want to push it back all the way against the leash plug as far as possible. Now, if you're the kind of surfer that feels the pad, I see a lot of guys, and I do a lot of coaching, and a lot of people start doing turns when they feel the pad and their foot's just barely on the pad. The reason I say that is with those students, I make them cut their pad. Why? Because they're feeling around for the pad, and the further back we cut the pad, the closer they're going to be to where their foot's supposed to be against the kick, and now they're going to get a nice precise turn. So here's a regular pad. Here's the same pad cut. Now I cut this pad roughly 3.5 to 4 inches from where the kick starts. Now I'm going to take this piece and push it all the way back. And now when I stand up to surf, I'm going to be feeling around, and I'm not going to do a turn or try to do a turn until my foot feels the pad. Once you do that for roughly a month and you're surfing all the time and you're starting to stick that and feel that pad, then you can just take off all the wax, keep this piece, and then make sure it's perfect, and then you can put the pad on, and now you have the full pad again. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my surf tip on the secrets for foot placements to better your surfing. You want to get your feet adjusted quickly, and then you want to find out on the right spots of the wave where you can adjust your foot position so you can maximize the turn or the maneuver. Look guys, if you like the show, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss an episode, and give us a thumbs up if you like our content. Until next time, we'll see you in the water. Bye-bye.